when we look at transcend, integrate, embody as three phases, how can light help us in each of those phases? Because light can play a significant role in each of those phases. And so when we transcend, we are trying to access higher states of consciousness. And what happens is we're stepping from something that's known to the unknown, right? And it can feel a little bit like, you're groping in the dark. I'm not quite sure what's going on. So what happens is when we bring light into the picture, by invoking light, by inviting light, and also opening up our higher centers, like we just did, then what happens is light illuminates the higher states. And so it's almost like it lifts us up. It lifts us to the higher states just like that. And so you get a lot of transcendence without sweating it out. Okay? Because I did sweat it out for many years and had very little results to show for it. And for me, I didn't even know anything I'm talking about now. It all accidentally kind of happened. So light had to kind of take pity on me and had to pick me up. But so now that I know that, I'm like, wait a minute, this is really like a secret. It's not a secret, it's open secret. But when you start engaging with light, transcendence looks completely different. So previously, I would think to transcend, one has to be this incredible meditator, right? Really good. And your mind is like a laser beam, and it's focused, and it's going to take you to some incredible state of samadhi. This was my idea. And it was not going too far because my mind was always all over the place. It's like, it just was not very accommodating to my higher aspiration. It had its own thing. And it seemed like over the years, it just wasn't getting much better, actually. It's very, very pathetic improvement. So that's just how it was. But probably the one redeeming thing was that, I talked earlier about just being casual with your mind. I could see that a little bit more. So previously my thoughts, I was taking it really seriously. Like, oh yeah, it was more and more like, okay, fine, whatever. That's what my mind is saying. But it wasn't like the mind was perfectly still and calm and all this stuff. No, the mind was still chattering away. But I was not particularly enamored by my own wonderful thoughts. So that was happening until light stepped in. And that's why I'm talking about light, so that hopefully you don't have to wait as long as I did. You can bring light into the picture much sooner. And when light steps in, it's completely a whole different story. The thoughts and the emotions and anything else that's you can imagine all recedes. Because imagine if you're standing in the middle of a lightning storm and you get hit by lightning, do you think there's going to be a whole lot of other stuff going on? There's not going to be anything else going on. It's just light and you. That's it. And that just happens, right? You're not going to sit in your lightning storm and think of your grocery list. It's just not going to happen. Because why? Light has completely grabbed you. And that's what happens. When you give yourself to light, you call upon light, light will just say, okay, here you go. And you can be having thoughts, you can be having whatever, it doesn't matter at all. You know that. You know that because the light is so infinitely powerful. Nothing else can stand in the way. Literally, nothing can stand in the way. So the thoughts become irrelevant and also they really also don't particularly stick around. They're like, if we've been treated this badly, we better, take off. So the thoughts don't stick around. They are not taken seriously. So that's the transcendence phase. Okay, that's light can really pick you up, and it can it can take you as high as you can handle. Okay, there's a different problem. We can't get into that right now. We can handle only so much depending on how much we've cleaned up our consciousness. Because if you go to super high state, the intensity is so high that if you have anything left, it's going to not survive, whatever is left. And if we say, no, I want that, then we have this battle. So that's not going to work. So then what happens is we lower our consciousness. Because we say that consciousness, it sounds great, but I like this slightly lower consciousness. So we can do that. That's fine. But I'm just saying those are some things that start happening. How high do you want to go is the question when light steps in. When you choose light, life becomes increasingly joyful, purposeful, and inspired. I invite you to join me to explore the realms of light, the infinite possibilities that light offers.